Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dim Day podcast. My name's Hoya. It is currently 8:38 on the, it's like the 10th of May 2019. Your week's been going pretty good, I hear. That's pretty cool, eh? Pretty glad of you for that one. I'm in my room this week. I actually had a really good idea of what I was going to do for the podcast this week, but I don't know if I can be bothered. So I was like standing at work, doing a bunch of weighing, and in my head I was like, because Georgie's away for the weekend, so I was like, I know what I can do. I'll record like 10 minutes of the podcast, wait an hour, do another 10 minutes, wait an hour, and then keep doing that for till there's 40 minutes recorded. And I thought that would be a really good idea. Like a pretty cool, funny, steezy idea, you know. But that didn't end up happening. Well, it could possibly happen, but definitely not, because it's whatever time it is, and I'm really tired. I'm not going to make it. I wouldn't be able to make it, so here I am. This week I have a peach Bundaberg. Me and my sister used to love these when we were little. If you haven't had them and you like peach, definitely try them out. They are glorious. Let's have a sip. Too good. They've definitely changed since I was little. They're worse than when I was little, but still not bad. Probably better refrigerated, to be honest. I feel like out of all the stuff that didn't happen this week, like it feels like not much happened. Quite a lot happened, you know. It's what it feels like. Last podcast was good because I only had to make like 3 edit cuts because I was just talking so fast, and I was like, they can go without editing, I'm sure. But yeah, stuff that happened this week. I guess I got to tell you about what happened on Harry's birthday because we didn't catch up to that one. So yeah, Harry's birthday. The tequila present worked out quite nicely. I got my desired, give him the salt, give him the lemons, give him the tequila. That worked out. But it was pretty sad for me because I gave him the presents. I was the only one that brought presents from, and I gave him the salt when he unwrapped it, and he was like, "Oh, salt, cool." And then I saw everyone look at me like I was an asshole for giving him shit presents. And he opened the lemons, and he was like, "Oh, cool." And I saw more like judgmental looks, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, I feel terrible." But then I think Harry conned on because he was like to Cullen. He was like, "Oh fuck, I can't be bothered talking about this." So he gets the tequila, and we had a bit of a night with that techie mate. I don't remember a lot of the night, but I remember the good bits. I don't know if there was bad bits because I don't remember, but pretty sure it was good bits. Yeah, nah, that shit hit hard, mate. We all had like a shot right after we whipped out the tequila. And then me, Cullen, Harry and Georgie decided to take a second shot. And then me and Cullen decided to take a swig out of the bottle. And then Cullen poured a full cup of tequila. And then I didn't want him to drink an entire cup of tequila because he would die. So I drank half the cup of tequila. He drank the other half. And then it was over, mate. The night was over. It was fucking over. Smack dead on my ass. I don't even remember getting up from the table. We did this all at the dinner table. I don't remember getting up from the dinner table. I don't even know what the next thing I remember after that is, to be honest. Some things I remember about the night. I remember getting up, grabbing the lamp from outside and sprinting out near the forest that's out there by Davo's house. And Cullen followed me, and then he told me that he was going to the army. Respect, Cullen. Good on you, mate. Then I remember coming back and sitting at the table with people. A lot of the nights are blur, to be honest. I remember me and Harry shotgunning a can of Tui each. Yep. And it was just marvellous, man. When Harry shotgunned his Tui, the spray, I was showered in Tui. It was such a beautiful sight. I remember that vividly. I remember it. I can see it in my brain. The vision of Harry just spluttering Tui all over me. It was a good time. Yeah, me and Harry had a sit and a talk then for a bit. Cullen and Georgie were just wandering around. Georgie went west. Cullen went north. I couldn't stand. And then after that, I just remember spewing up in the backyard. And shivering because it was freezing cold. And not moving because I just didn't know. I was just spewing. I was just spewing all night. And shivering out in the cold for at least an hour, I've heard. And then I remember actually not being able to move, lying sideways on the ground somewhere. I don't know if I was inside, I must have been. But I remember hearing a really crisp Lil Peep song playing. Now, I think it was Lil Peep, I don't actually know, I don't have the memory for that. But I remember being like, this song is so good, I need to write it down so I can remember it. And then I grabbed my pen out of my pocket, and I scribbled down the little peep lyrics on my hand, and then when I woke up in the morning, I could not read them. The only words that I could read were gimme, and that's pretty much it, actually. So yeah, that one was pretty good. Morning was also a ruffaroons. I spewed up in the backyard again a couple times. We drove home. I always spewed back on the way home. Spewed up in my backyard also. I remember that night when I was sleeping, I remember waking up and my head was pounding. I was like, bro, this is going to be a terrible hangover. And then I remembered, aha, I did the Shane trick. I don't know if anyone's been around long enough to know about the Shane trick that I said in the podcast, but just scull a Powerade before bedtime. And I did that. I woke up, I had the pounding headache. And someone's out there, I don't want them to be hearing me. And I sculled it. And I woke up and there was no headache. It was amazing, but I was still really, really sick. So that was Harrison's birthday. I'd like to thank him for that experience, and no regrets. I'm pretty sure there's no regrets. Yeah. So that was that. How was your guys' fucking weekend? No, that was wild, eh? That was pretty wild. What else have I got to talk about? I have a few notes written down on my phone. I should probably go and check those now. Nods Hamish. Here we go. Oh yes, I tripped the alarms at work. Yes, it was a Tuesday morning, or a Wednesday, it might have been a Wednesday. So you know my one of my jobs in the morning is to go and sort out the job bags that I grab from the offices and take upstairs. It was roughly 6:30 in the morning, 7 maybe, and none of the office people were around yet, and I went into the front office. All the lights were out, and I walked in, I grabbed the job bags, and then as I was walking out I heard me, and I was like, oh, I feel like that's an alarm. But I couldn't be sure. It wasn't like a wee 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 loud alarm, you know, like it was just like a real quiet like wee, you know. So I couldn't be too sure. I went out, I walked out, I was looking around, I was going to ask someone about it. I was going to go talk to Craig, but he was talking to Brian, so I was like, oh, you know, I'll forget about that. So I decided I'd go and talk to capital S Shane, and he did look a little bit concerned about it, but I saw him wandering over the offices, so I was like, oh yeah, he has it under control, so I just walked away. Came back like 20 minutes later, it was still going off, so I just forgot about it. And then a little bit later on, maybe 8:30, Craig comes over to me and he goes, hey, Hoy, mate, you go in the front offices this morning? And I went, yep, I tripped the alarm. And he was like, oh, well, armour guard's here. I was like, oh yeah, sorry about that. He was like, yeah, you just can't do that in the morning because none of us know the password. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's sweet, I'll remember. And so yeah, I've definitely remembered I'm not going to go and trip the alarms and get the security companies to come over in the morning. Good times. What else? I'm pretty sure I said about how the fuses in my car were frickled. I walked to Super Cheap Auto. It was actually a pretty good time actually. I think it was Wednesday. No, it wasn't Wednesday. It was like Tuesday. Tuesday I walked to Super Cheap Auto and bought some fuses for my car. $10 worth of fuses. Got a packet of muffins from Countdown as I walked home. Ate them all because I was starving because I hadn't eaten much the whole day. Got home, tested out the fuses. They were too big for the car. So yesterday, I went to Super Cheap Auto again, and I went to the front counter, and I asked the lady there, I was like, hey, I was just wondering if I could get a refund for these here, or exchange them for the right size fuses. And she said, yeah, that's fine. And then she got, because there was other customers there, and she got a little bit sidetracked. She was like, oh, I'll just deal with these customers. And then she gave what was happening with me to another lady, and this lady was a bitch. She was just like, here you go, he wants to exchange these, and gave it to the lady. And then I followed the lady. She put my fuses back on the shelf, grabbed down some assorted micro fuses, and took me back to the counter, charged me for the micro fuses, did not refund me for my fuses. And I was standing right in front of her like, fuck, this is some bullshit. And I walked out of the store, and I looked at my hands, looked at my receipts, and I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm going back in. And I went back in, and I went to the lady, I was like, oh, hi, yeah, I was actually wanting to refund my other ones. And she was like, well, you didn't tell me that. And I was like, what the fuck? She's like, you didn't tell me that, so how am I supposed to refund these now? And I gave him my receipt, And she was like, well, I don't know how to do this. How am I going to do this? And in my head, I was just like, just give me my money back for my other ones. You don't have to do all this, like, tricky receipt bullshit. And, she got the manager out, and she was like, how am I supposed to do this? He wanted a refund, but he didn't tell me this. Fucking, I just went and put them back on the shelf. Fucking, fuck you, bitch. One of those ones. And, the manager was a smart guy. He just gave me my $10 back. But she was blaming it all on me, saying that I hadn't told her that I wanted an exchange, when it was the other lady's responsibility, the other lady who was dealing with the other customers. That was her responsibility to tell her that I wanted the exchange. And it just fucked me off. And I told this lady the situation as well. She was a stupid bitch. She was. And that's all I have to say. I got my $10 back, but I'm not impressed with the service. I got home, tested out the new fuses. They're too small. They're too fucking small. So I got to go back. And I'm not going to get more fuses from Super Cheap Auto because that lady ruined it for their business. I'm going to get a refund for those fuses. And I'm going to go to Repco and see if they have anything. Or just buy them online because, nah, Super Cheap Auto trash. Not proud of Super Cheap Auto at all. Sip. So yeah, that was that story. I told you some interesting stuff happened this week, didn't I? Work today. I was walking to go clock out at 12 o'clock. Just for lunch. We have to clock out for lunchtime. I don't know why. And I was walking, and I noticed that everyone at the outside picnic table was staring at me. And I was like, kind of, what the fuck? And then I saw this cute-ass little grey and white cat step out from under someone's car. And they were all like looking at the cat, and they were looking at me to see what my reaction would be. And I just looked at this cat. And I approached it, and I was like, everyone was looking at me, I was like, oh, well, I gotta do something, don't I? I gotta make a reaction. So I like kicked this cat right in the head. Right with my steel cap toes as well. Kicked it right in the fucking face. I'm joking. I didn't do that. I just walked straight past and acted, I just looked at it and walked past. Didn't want to give them the satisfaction of fucking seeing a reaction out of me. What do you think you are, turning your head at me? No. I'm just walking. So that was that. I'm trying to get a lolly here, but I can't do it with one hand. Let me put the phone down. Hang on. Oh yeah. It's those red brick lollies, So good. Probably one of the best, I'd say. Good times. I feel like there must be other things. I was helping Bryant out in the Indigo all week this week because he broke his ribs. Had to give him a helping hand down the lifting business. Stocked all of his papers, lifted them into the machine and whatnot all week. It was actually pretty good. He's been teaching me a bit about the machine, so I sort of know how to run programs and stuff like that, print stuff out. Not completely, just some parts of it. But I know how to turn the machine on and stuff like that. I've been enjoying the 6 AM wake-ups. I might ask to see if I can actually start at 6s and leave at 2:30s, because it was just a dream, eh? Can do whatever I want. Went for a drive. If you listen to last podcast, you're going to know that I'm trying to get my learner's my restricted license legitimately, as I did not do last time, and I reaped the consequences. That's not the term, but whatever. So me and my dad went for a drive this week. It was my first, real drive in over a year. And my dad threw me right in the deep end, which was probably good. So we left at, school leaving hours. We drove. First we went to the race course, but it wasn't like one of those gay race course lessons. He was just like, hey, go to the race course. And as soon as we got to the race course, he was like, alright, that's enough of that, let's go now. We turned around, he was like, I want you to go to Cloverley School. Drove to Cloverley School, made my first right turn at an intersection since the big whoops. Fucking nerve-wracking it was. But I got through it. I actually did a few right turns that day, which was good for me. Got to Cloverley School, everyone was gone, so my dad was like, go to the square. Did a couple laps of the square, went through a roundabout without checking my right side, which is fucking stupid. That's a big mistake on my part. He wanted me to drive to Massey. I drove to Massey, went 70 k's. That's the fastest I've been since the big whoops. What else? Did some parking trainings. Came back to Palmy. Didn't stop for a old Chinese man at a pedestrian crossing, which I feel bad for. And yeah, that was pretty much about that. So that was good. Good to get some training in while I need it. Ugh, it's not going to be the same. I feel really sick. I was going to say that right at the start of the podcast, but I feel really sick. I've been on screens all day, just messing about, and I've been eating bad food. I had 2 chicken luncheon sandwiches, as I do every day. What else did I have? Came home. Georgie got me a roll from the Boys High Canteen. She works at the Boys High Canteen now, by the way. She brought me some sort of honey mustard roll home, which was pretty good. I ate a couple of lollies, not too many. I ate a muffin. I bought myself some treats for the weekend. So I ate a muffin. I don't know, just not eating very good, and I need more water as well. But what are you going to do about that? Not much. Had an ice block. But yeah, not too flash of a job. That's pretty much it. Should have another sip of this drink while it's fresh, shall I? Yeah. I actually bought one of these from the West End Dairy ages ago, like at the start. Remember the bike vlogs? I went to the dairy in one of them. I bought a peach flavoured Bundaberg from there that day, and it was off by I'm pretty sure it was like a month at least that it was off for, and it just tasted weird and there was floaty stuff in it, and yeah, it wasn't very good, that one. Interesting. I had a dream this week. I can't remember it exactly, but I remember, I was taking an exam, and the guy who was taking it was like this weird guy. He was like a substitute exam guy, and he was talking throughout the whole exam as well, which is weird. But he pulled out those like a tin army helmet. I think it was the Americans that wore them. Might have been the British. I think it was the British. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that sort of thing. It's like a flat-brimmed tin army helmet with like a little bob on the top. He pulled out one of those, and he was like, "You know what they call me?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Petrol pewter," or something like that, something weird like that. And I was like, "Okay." And then I asked if I could go to the bathroom in the exam, and I left and went to the $2 shop instead. And he was wandering around in the $2 shop, even though the exam was going on. In my dream world, I have a really fucking cool $2 shop, by the way. There's a whole section just for like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards. But I don't know, I can't bother talking about that right now. So this guy's at the $2 shop, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna see that I didn't actually go to the bathroom. And he did see me, and I walked outside, and then he was like pumping gas into a car, and I was like, oh, that's why they call him petrol pewter. Went back to the exam, and that's as much as I can remember at this stage in my life, and probably forever more. Yeah, but that was my dream. Damn, I was so happy getting all this like unhealthy shit for me to eat. I bought some like pizza breads, but I feel way too bad, I feel terrible. I'm real tired too. Super duper tiredo, my Dorito Negro. Do you guys think the word Negro is offensive? I find it not offensive, but I'm not an African American, so I don't know if it's actually offensive. I feel like it's not offensive, but I've heard someone tell me, you shouldn't say that word, it's offensive. It's like, what? I'm not going to name this person, but this person believes that it is worse than the other N-word. That's right, the one that rhymes with Tigger. This person believes that it's more offensive than that. Surely not. I don't think it is. But I'm not to judge. I have to get a professional's opinion on that. Feeling sick. Should I just have a spew? That podcast idea was pretty good though, eh? You gotta be with me on that one. It's like for 10 minutes I'm talking, and then it's like, okay, I'll be back in an hour. And I come back in an hour, and then it's like different atmosphere, and it's like, oh, okay, so what I just did in that hour. Yeah, no, I had everything planned out. I was like, okay, I record the first 10 minutes, then on my hour break I'm going to catch up on One Punch Man, which I've already done, so that was useless. Catch up on One Punch Man, and I don't know, watch something. And then I'll do the next 10 minutes, and then I'll go away for an hour and do an artwork, and then I'll be like, okay, I did an artwork. And then go away for 10 minutes and be like, okay, I'd practiced a song on the guitar or something like that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was planning, but it didn't work out. I have an idea for an artwork that I want to do. It was inspired by my day today at work. So I saw, when I was throwing out Bryant's rubbish from the Indigo, because I have to do that because he's got the broken ribs, I was throwing away his paper rubbish, and he was doing a colour calibration. And I saw a pattern on there, and I was like, that is cool. and I wanted to grab the piece of paper because I really liked it, so I'm going to try to replicate that. And also, there was this sign on, there's like this paper, I can't remember what it's called, but they make it for like beer labels that go on the front of bottles. It comes from Samoa or something, and it had like this strange writing, like a strange language on it, and I don't know, it was just very strange. And then it was like one line of that, and then it was 1-10, like on a 1 to 10 scale, and then more lettering under it. And Shane was like, "Hey Hoya, what do you think that says?" And I was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I rate this 10. And Shane was like, "Oh, that's exactly what I said it said." Yeah, so I wanted to grab that because it was a really interesting language thing to look at. So I was going to grab whatever that said and put it on the color calibration pattern. I thought that would have been sick, but alas, it was not so, because I forgot to grab the paper that had that message on it in the other language, so I don't know what that said. Which is sad. Maybe it'll be there on Monday, and maybe I'll be able to figure out what I'm doing. That would be cool though. I was looking forward to doing that as well. I was indeed looking forward. Bro, I feel sick. That fizzy's not doing anything for me. I heard that liquid sugar is the most toxic form of sugar. And liquid sugar is in fizzy drinks. And sugar's pretty toxic on its own. Gas sugar, what do you reckon about gas sugar? What do you do, just burn it and inhale the smokes off it? It's like, oh yeah boy, got a buzz. I don't know. Chillin' in the Nellin. What should I do once I finish this podcast? I want to... I should probably... it's 9 o'clock though, I'm real tired. But I should probably... because on my 2019 checklist, right, my goals, I wanted to have 2 acoustic cover songs for my funeral. Have them played at my funeral. And I haven't started either. I know a couple of the songs that I want Carmelita, as performed by G.G. Allen, written by, I don't remember his name. Well, adapted by G.G. Allen, let's say. And the other one was The Bottle Called by the Coffin Cats. But I did teach myself those songs on the guitar, but I can't remember how they go. And practice makes perfect, so I need to get onto those at some point, don't I? I feel sick. I feel rather sickly. What are you guys' favourite colour of crocodiles? Honestly, I'm not a big fan of crocodiles. I'll usually just grab like the colour that nobody wants, which is usually green or yellow or orange. Mainly green and orange, I'd say. The green one tastes like soap suds, but that's the one that I always get, the one that I always grab. So yeah, actually, I don't know what the other crocodiles taste like. What colour's this? That's a red. I don't want a red. It's probably nice, but I'll grab. There's an orange. I'll eat the orange. How's that sound? They're so hard to eat. I'm not into crocodiles very much. What do I think of this? It's just a crocodile, eh? Nothing special about it. I don't know. I don't know. Those red bricks over there, though. A-okay, I like red bricks. I don't have a podcast book on me. I've been lacking in the podcast book segment, haven't I? Haven't been writing stuff down as I normally would. And haven't been answering stuff out the back as I normally would. So that is rather concerning. Have you guys got any questions for me? I doubt it. I don't even know how many people listen to this anymore. Probably not. Oh, dropped my phone. Should we check? I remember being able to boast 14 listeners every single week. I seriously doubt that it's even close to 14 now. Last I checked, I think last one had like 3 views last time I checked. Let's have a look, hey? Videos. Yeah, 3 views. Oh well. Long time ago I used to say that I could get 14 views every podcast. Looks like I'm just T-rash. Hey, now that I'm having a look, right, the podcast dropped off right after episode 25. I went 17 views straight down to 9. This is strange. Did I say something controversial in episode 25? Episode 25. 1, 2. Holy Schmidt. I've gone 10 podcasts deep. It's like 2 months. Is it? Yeah, that's It's like over 2 months of trash content. It's okay, I've been having trash content for ages. Oh, and I had a whole bag of cheese and onion chips. That was probably the worst thing. It's got a 1.5 health star, and as soon as I had them, I was like, I need some liquids. Dude, liquids are important. Bro, I'm gonna sleep so good though. This week was heavy on my body. Getting up at like 5:30. I should be getting up at 5, but can I be fucked? Get up at 5:34, and then just lumber about until I'm too late, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta go ASAP right now. No time to look for my beanie, even though it's freezing. That's what it's like. But that's okay, because that's how it's got to be sometimes. I think I'm going to try... what if I... Brian asked me to come in at 6 on Monday. But what if I go in at 6 on Monday? And then the production manager's like, oh no, we don't need you in at 6. You just work till 4:30. And then I have to stay there till 4:30. That would be heartbreaking. I would actually crumble, eh? Oh, it'd be very sad, very sad. I'd probably just sleep at work. Can't do that. Can't do that. The blankets on the bed are smashed. Well. Guess nobody's listening anyway. I'm going to turn this off. Nah, joking. We have positive things to say about the podcast. Here we go. So, I'd like to thank you especially for watching all the way till the end. You are one of my favourites. You're probably my favourite. You're listening right now. You're my favourite. So I'd like to thank you very much for supporting me through the dark days of the dim days of the life podcast scene. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Best buddy.